Thank you for joining us for this week's Crafternoon here at the Coronado Public Library. I'm Jacqueline, your Adult Services Librarian, and this week we'll be making 3D paper hedgehogs. If you weren't able to pick up a kit, all you'll need is an old paperback book and some buttons. Let's get started. In your kit, you should have some buttons and a book. You'll also need some glue and a pair of scissors. So go ahead and push the buttons to the side for now, and we're going to use our folds to create our hedgehog. So in order to do that, we're going to just start with the first page, and you're going to fold down like this, making that nice triangle, and then you're going to fold this way. Don't worry, this is an old book that was in bad condition. This is a nice way to upcycle books that maybe had some spine damage or things like this. So once you've made your first fold, just go ahead and keep going. And what's important as you go is you want to make sure that you fold to a nice crisp triangle at the bottom here, and that your pages are lined up as close to the spine as you can. So just make that second fold here, then push it up and keep going. So you can see my first and my second ones are a little bit different. That's because sometimes the first page in a book is going to be too well glued to the cover. So don't worry too much about that. Just make sure as you go forward and keep folding that you make sure again that page is lined up as close into the spine as it can be before you make that first fold, and then fold the second fold the same and tuck it in a little bit. Okay, so go ahead and keep going with this. You're going to be folding down the same folds the entire book. So as you're going, you'll see that it's going to get a little bit harder to fold because you're effectively doubling how many pages are going to be in here. So your spine is going to feel very full. So an easier way to help you make those folds is to make sure you're pushing hard on the side that has all the folds, and then carefully roll your page and tuck it in as far as possible down here, and then push it a little bit this way, and then make your fold. So that can make it a little bit easier. And then the same thing, you just want to make sure you're tucking this paper, your edge in right into the center of the spine and making your fold. So again, pushing over so you open up that middle area so you can have a space to tuck your paper, and then making that fold so that you can keep that nice sharp crease at the edge up here. Same thing, really pulling over so you can tuck that paper in as well as possible. Okay. So as you get towards the end of your book, you're going to find it is going to be very difficult to get those last pages folded. So just take your time and pull your pages as far over as you can so you can try and tuck those into the center spine. All right. So now you can see we have effectively created our hedgehog base. So what you'll do next is go ahead and grab your scissors, and you are going to just go ahead, cut away the outside of the book so you don't see the cover there. So you're just going to kind of cut through underneath and over. So now that cover is now hidden under here, you can't see it. And the same thing on the other side. So you don't need to cut it all the way, but just so it doesn't show through on the edge. Perfect. So we've got our hedgehog base here, and now it's time to create our eyes and our nose. So go ahead and grab your glue, and we're going to go ahead and glue our eyes together. So you should have 2 white buttons and some black buttons to create your eyes. Just go ahead and put a dot of glue. And a dot of glue. Policeman flipped over. Alright, while those dry, let's go ahead and put our nose together. Our nose is going to go right here on the center. So, nice dot of glue here. I'm going to let that set. And then you can go ahead and take your eyes and see where you'd like those to be. And once they have dried a little bit on the buttons, go ahead and glue the buttons. So we're going to take a second and let these eyes dry, and we'll be back in just a moment. So once your eyes have set, go ahead and find the place that you want them to be and glue those in place. Once your eyes have dried in place, your hedgehog is now ready to enjoy. Thank you so much for joining us for this week's Crafternoon. Have a wonderful day.